Have you ever been in a room where speaking up could cost you everything? Have you ever watched someone get silenced and thought, if that were me, I'd fight back? But what if the loudest message came from absolute silence? This is the story of an ordinary group of people, humiliated and silenced in public, but whose silence shook an entire system to its knees. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, if you were told to shut up in front of the world, would you stay quiet, or would you fight back? Hit that subscribe button right now to join us at Skin Deep Stories, where we bring powerful, emotional stories that will move and inspire you. Now, settle in, this story will stay with you long after the last word. It started with just one voice. Or rather, one voice being taken away. Maya Thompson, a community activist in her 30s, was known for speaking truth to power. On a cold Monday morning, she stood in front of her city council to expose years of corruption, mismanaged funds, neglected schools, broken promises. But as she began, the chair of the council interrupted her, "Your time is up. Sit down." The microphone went dead. Laughter filled the chamber. Cameras flashed. Maya stood frozen, humiliated. The video of that council meeting went viral. Thousands watched as a black woman's voice was literally cut off while she held evidence of corruption. Some mocked. Others raged. But something unexpected began to happen. Across the city, ordinary people, teachers, nurses, shop owners, students, started sharing their own stories of being silenced, complaints ignored, funds stolen, voices crushed. And quietly, without warning, something began to build. 2 weeks later, a council meeting opened as usual. The same officials sat with smug faces, ready to dismiss any criticism. But this time, the room was full. Hundreds of people packed the hall. Maya was there. So were teachers, parents, veterans, even children. One by one, they stepped to the podium. And not one person spoke. Each carried a piece of paper, evidence of wrongdoing. Each stood silently for 2 minutes, staring at the officials, then left the paper on the desk and walked out. The silence was deafening. News crews swarmed. Reporters whispered, "Why aren't they speaking?" Maya finally approached the mic. She didn't say a word. She simply held up a large sign, "We will not be ignored." The video went viral, again. But this time, it wasn't laughter. It was awe. The silent protest became a movement. Within days, thousands across the city organized silent marches. Workers walked out in silence. Students stood in schoolyards holding blank signs. Social media flooded with black squares and one phrase, #SilentNoMore. Everywhere the council members went, silence followed them. No boos, no chants, just eyes watching, papers handed, and silence so loud it was terrifying. Officials couldn't spin it. The media couldn't ignore it. Investigations began. Names were leaked. Audits opened. Just when the council thought they could weather the storm, the biggest blow came not from activists, but from inside. One morning, a sealed envelope arrived at Maya's doorstep. No return address. Inside was a USB drive. It contained recordings, documents, and confessions from a whistleblower on the inside. The shock? It was the council chair's own assistant. The very person who had turned off Maya's microphone that day had been watching all along, horrified by what they'd seen. "I silenced you once. Never again. Here's the truth." Within weeks, indictments were served. Officials resigned. The system that silenced so many collapsed under the weight of its own secrets. They were silenced. Mocked. Ignored. But in the end, it wasn't anger or shouting that changed everything, it was the power of collective silence. So I ask you, if you were in that council hall, would you have stayed silent with them? Or would you have spoken out? And don't forget to subscribe to Skin Deep Stories for more unforgettable, emotional stories that prove one thing: sometimes the quietest moments can echo the loudest.